You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 8th of May. India neutralizes Pak missiles aimed at 15 cities, destroys air defense system. Pakistan vows retaliation as tension escalates with India over airstrikes. And Nepal lawmakers press for clear stand on terrorism. And now for all the details. A day after India launched strikes at hideouts of terror outfits in Pakistan and POJK, a similar kind of operation was launched by Indian forces. According to Indian government, the strike was in response to Pakistan's attempts to engage Indian military installations across northern and western sectors. Here's what we know so far.
A day after India launched strikes in several locations in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, and Pakistan targeting terror hideouts, a similar kind of operation was launched by the Indian forces targeting Pakistan's air defense system. In a statement, New Delhi said, while Indian strikes were focused, measured and non-escalatory, not targeting the military installations, Pakistan had tried to engage a number of Indian military targets across northern and western India. The attacks were neutralized by India's integrated counter-UAS grid and air defense systems, India's Defence Ministry said. In response, India said it targeted air defence radars and systems at a number of locations in Pakistan, with sources indicating use of Israeli-made Harpy drones in the operation. New Delhi further said Indian response has been in the same domain with same intensity as Pakistan, adding in a major win. An air defence system at Lahore was also neutralised. Notably, government sources had earlier said India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, during the all-party meeting today, had indicated India's Operation Sindoor was still in progress.
A number of military targets in northern and western India using drones and missiles. These places included Avantipura, Srinagar, Jammu, Pathankot, Amritsar, Kapurthala, Nal, Jalandhar, Ludhiana, Adhampur, Bhatinda, Chandigarh, Phalodi, Uttarlai and Bhuj. These were neutralized by the integrated counter-unmanned aerial system and other air defense systems. The debris of these attacks is now being recovered from a number of locations that prove the Pakistani attacks.
Along with targeting of military installations, Pakistan, in an act of escalation, has also resorted to artillery shelling in India's Jammu and Kashmir, targeting civilian population across the line of control and international border. According to initial reports, around 13 fatalities were reported from the border town of Poonch, as more than 24 civilians were injured across Poonch and other bordering towns due to shelling by Pakistani forces. The Indian Army said in a statement that Pakistani action is being responded appropriately in a calibrated manner. Anticipating further escalation from Pakistan in the northern sector, India has shut operations across 21 airports across Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, Rajasthan and Gujarat, along with school holidays in some border districts.
मोदी सरकार की के मोदी साहब ने जड़ा कि शीता बहुत अच्छा किया है लेकिन आसा गरीब लोगों ने भी जड़ा नुकसान होया इसने बारे में भी कुछ सोचा जाए और ये मेरे बच्चे ने मकान सा जड़ा पूरा तबाह हो गया है।
ये हमें बहने दो हैं इधर इसलिए रात को जब 1:30 बजे इन्होंने फोन किया कि हमारे यहाँ गोला पड़ा है तो हमें ये सब कुछ जल गया है खत्म हो गया और जख्मी है तो बाद में ये बाद ऊपर कहीं सेफ जगह पे।
India on Wednesday also briefed envoys of current member nations of the United Nations Security Council, San Pakistan and Sierra Leone, over its Operation Sindoor. As per government sources, during the briefing, New Delhi conveyed if Pakistan escalates the situation, India will reply to its action in a befitting manner. India, which had earlier taken a slew of diplomatic measures against Islamabad, has said that strikes in Pakistan were aimed to preempt further cross-border attacks.
Meanwhile, Pakistan, in an act of escalation, has warned action against India, with Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif saying New Delhi will have to bear repercussions of its actions in Pakistan. A report.
While India stated its commitment to de-escalation, extending an olive branch provided the Pakistani military respects it, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has threatened retaliation, warning that New Delhi will face repercussions for its military actions. Sharif, who chaired an emergency security meeting on Thursday, said in a televised address to the nation on Wednesday that Pakistan would not back down and would respond with a strong counterstrike. He claimed the Pakistani Air Force engaged Indian aircraft, but provided no evidence to substantiate this. Later on Thursday, military spokesperson Ahmed Sharif Chaudhry, addressing a press briefing, made similar claims without evidence. However, he acknowledged India's drone strikes at various locations across Pakistan, claiming Pakistani forces destroyed Indian-operated Israeli drones used in the attack.
Last night, that is the night of 7th and 8th May, India has undertaken yet another blatant military act of aggression against Pakistan by sending Harap drones at multiple locations.
As tensions escalate between the two nuclear-armed neighbours, world leaders have urged restraint from both nations. The United Nations, along with leaders from the US, the UK, UAE, China and Russia, have called on India and Pakistan to avoid escalating tensions. While Turkey has expressed solidarity with Pakistan, Israel has supported India's right to defend against terrorism, backing Operation Sindoor. Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar, who held bilateral talks with his Iranian counterpart Abbas Araghchi on Thursday, said New Delhi did not intend to escalate the situation. However, he warned that if Pakistan chooses to attack militarily, it will face a firm response.
This attack compelled us to respond on 7th May by striking at cross-border terrorist infrastructure. Our response was targeted and measured. It is not our intention to escalate the situation. However, if there are military attacks on us, there should be no doubt that it will be met with a very, very firm response.
And in a double whammy for Pakistani forces amid India's Operation Sindoor targeting terror hideouts, the Baloch Liberation Army has claimed responsibility for 2 separate attacks in Bullletin and Kach regions of Balochistan, reportedly killing 14 Pakistani army personnel. There has been a spate in such attacks in the region since the past 2 to 3 months. The attacks highlight the deep-rooted and ongoing conflict in Balochistan, where separatist groups have long sought independence, accusing the Pakistani state of political exclusion, economic exploitation and systemic human rights violations. These groups argue that while Balochistan is rich in natural resources, the profits are reaped by Pakistan government and foreign entities, leaving local population in poverty and neglect. This widening gap thus remains a major source of instability in the region. And Nepali lawmakers have urged the government to cut diplomatic ties with states known to sponsor terrorism in an indirect reference to Pakistan. Speaking in the House of Representatives on Wednesday, Loktantrik Samajwadi Party MP Sarbendra Nath Shukla warned that maintaining relations with such countries endangers national security and must be ended. The comments came in the backdrop of a Pakistan Army delegation's visit to Nepal amid the ongoing conflict between India and Pakistan. Nepali lawmakers opposed the visit and lauded India's recent strikes against terror camps in Pakistan over the Pahalgam attack.
दक्षिण एसियामा हुने कुनै पनि आतंकवादी घटनाबाट नेपाल प्रत्यक्ष अप्रत्यक्ष रूपमा प्रभावित हुँदै आएको छ। त्यसर्थ अहिले समय आएको छ सभामुख महोदय, जब हामी आतंकवाद र आतंकवादी विरुद्ध सहकार्य गर्न कार्यनीतिलाई हृदयंगम गर्नुपर्छ हामीले।
One Nepali citizen was also among the 26 victims of the Pahalgam terror attack that happened on 22nd of April. The incident has raised alarm over regional security.
सार्वजनिक भइसकेको छ तर छिमेकमा भएको जघन्य आतंककारी घटना र विकसित परिस्थितिलाई नजरअन्दाज गर्दै पाकिस्तानको उच्च स्तरीय सैनिक प्रतिनिधिमण्डलले नेपाल भ्रमण गरेको देखिन्छ। भ्रमण पूर्व निर्धारित नै भए पनि वर्तमान स्थितिका बारे संवेदनशील भएर कूटनैतिक कौशलताका साथ तत्कालका लागि भ्रमण स्थगन गर्दै उपयुक्त समयको प्रतीक्षा गर्नुपर्ने आवश्यकता थियो।
And a newly formed political platform, July Unity, has demanded a judicial ban and prosecution of the Awami League by 5th of August, a date they symbolically call the 36th of July. Formed on Tuesday in Dhaka University, the platform includes over 50 socio-political organizations. On Wednesday, the July Unity called for justice over mass killings during July to August protests last year, along with accountability for abductions, killings and corruption over the past 15 to 16 years. Reports suggest the student leaders urged all political parties to show solidarity, emphasizing that July Unity is not a political party but sees the Awami League as its sole adversary. Former PM Sheikh Hasina's Awami League government had faced growing criticism over democratic backsliding and was ousted after the students' uprising last year. An interim administration led by Muhammad Yunus was later formed under military oversight, but it has yet to act decisively on calls for reform. Moving on. The World Bank said on Wednesday that it has earmarked more than $1 billion to support job creation and private sector growth in Sri Lanka over 3 years. The initiative aims to expand economic opportunity, strengthen local industry and attract private capital to support long-term growth, the bank said in a statement. During a meeting with Sri Lankan President Dissanayake, World Bank President Ajay Banga said, now is the time to accelerate reforms and create the conditions for private enterprise to thrive, particularly in sectors that can create jobs at scale. The World Bank estimates a shortage of some 7 lakh jobs in the island nation over the next decade, with 1 million young people entering the workforce. Sri Lanka, which plunged into financial crisis in 2022 due to a dollar shortage, has gradually recovered under a 4-year $2.9 billion IMF program that began in March 2023. The World Bank had earlier in a report forecast 3.5% growth for the island nation in 2025. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Till then, good night.